Bam! Bam! My peoples. My peoples. Welcome to another episode of Boxing for Breakfast, where you get your healthy dosage of sweet science early in the morning. You guys know how we do it, man. First of all, let me just say it's a beautiful day. It's sunny out here right now, but wherever you are, if it's dark, windy, rainy, whatever it is, it's a beautiful day. If you're up and breathing, my peoples, thank you, God, for giving us another one. My peoples, let me give a shout out to those already tuning in on this beautiful Monday morning. Side, Underrated Will, Toy Mafia, Devin Ford, The Assassin, JJ Zendejas. Salute, my people. We in the building. Interesting weekend of boxing. We got lots to talk about on this Monday episode of Boxing for Breakfast. But we're going to kick this thing off with big baby Jerrell Miller, who fought on Saturday. Main event, of course. What a fight, my peoples. Heavyweight showdown, and the gentleman did not disappoint. Whoa. What a pace that I didn't think it could last 12 rounds. I didn't think that the fighters could, maintain it. Both fighters combined threw more than 1,500 punches. This thing turned into a bona fide slugfest, my peoples. They was trading some nasty leather. However, Big Baby applied pressure constantly throughout the entire 12 rounds. He was constantly walking them down, constantly putting hands on him, changing speeds. You saw Bozianis in the corner letting him know to, sometimes throw the punches a little bit, softer and then catch him with the hard ones. You saw him doing that. The combinations also to the body, to the dome piece. Big Baby was running on all cylinders. He showed up to this fight about 10 pounds lighter than what he was for the last one. And you could see that he was in better shape. The punch output was crazy. Ronaldo, we in the house. Bam, salute, family. The Assassin, Jay Smith, that fight was super sloppy. I was getting bored. The Cuban kid lost his footing. Listen, man, the pressure that Jerrell Anderson was applying, it was too much because he was landing some good shots here and there. Perro landed some good punches and had some moments, but ultimately, the pressure that Big Baby was applying was too much for him. And by the way, you saw Bozianis in Big Baby's corner. And the results are right there. And I was talking about this during the fight. You saw the instructions that Bozy was giving Jerrell Miller. So how he was saying, do this, do that. And then you saw Jerrell Miller actually doing it in the ring and getting the results. So there you have it, man. Bozy, he keeps showing, what he brings to the table when he trains fighters. When you see Bozy in that corner, you're like, oh, shit. Let's see what they bring, Let's see what they're going to do. So, great performance from Big Baby Miller. Perro fought hard, undefeated fighter, good fighter. Made it interesting. But ultimately, Big Baby walked out of there with the dub, my peoples. That's what it's all about. The Assassin. I heard the commentary say something interesting. That the figure was more like a super heavyweight versus a heavyweight. It's the heavyweight division. That's just the reality. It's the heavyweight division. This is not the amateurs where you separate them. So, go fight. Go fight. Big Baby, be the undefeated fighter. And By the way, this thing went the distance, although a lot of people thought it was going to end by stoppage. I thought Big Baby was going to stop him. Raul Mercado, salute, family, bam. But let me just say, to me, because somebody said that they was going to fall asleep or something, to me, it was an entertaining fight. I had a good time watching this fight, watching the big man trading leather. You saw the uppercuts from Big Baby Miller's on the inside. Boom, 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 boom. To the mouthpiece, to the nose piece, to the jugular. Just uppercuts for days. But that's one of the things that you noticed in this fight. I saw early on that Big Baby was going to win based on how it was developing. You could see that Miller was the more technical fighter and also the better mechanics in there. Sometimes you saw Perro get a little bit sloppy on the inside with his punches. So from early on, I said, nah, Big Baby Miller, with the skill set that he brings to the table, he's going to beat him up. Beat him up. And look, I'm going to tell you like this, too. Perro can take a shot. You got to give him credit for that, too. The assassin, I thought the Cuban kid would have had more in the tank. It's tough, man. When somebody's constantly walking you down, constantly throwing punches, constantly having you on the defensive, it's tough, man. It's tough. You imagine taking a shot like this one from Big Baby. Look at that shot. Look at his shoulder. He leaning into that shot. His whole 270 pounds is behind that one punch. I guarantee you, there's people that would have went to sleep. There's people who would have went to sleep with that same shot to the mouthpiece. Right in the snack box by Big Baby Miller. But again, man, they went 12 rounds. It was an interesting fight. Big Baby dominated. And ultimately walked out of there the winner, my peoples. There you go. And by the way, you guys know I was calling this fight. So let me give a shout out, another shout out to Big Baby Miller. I posted a story with me calling the fight, and he reposted that clip. So if you go to Jerrell Miller's IG, you'll see that story. Jay Smith calling it. Lefts and rights to the wig pieces and mouthpieces, my peoples. The assassin, I thought the Cuban... Listen, man, like, I feel you on that, but when you have somebody that's constantly applying that pressure, it ain't easy, brother. West does it. Miller would let up on Buddy. It was a good fight. That's the thing, man. Perro was not able to reset himself. He was not able to prepare himself. It's like he was constantly on the defense and fighting back as opposed to being on the offense. And then something very smart that Big Baby does. When they get on the inside, did you notice? Rarely, if ever, he clinches. It's Perro who initiated the clinches. Big Baby, when you guys are inside of that phone booth, he might put his weight on you, and that's gonna wear down your legs, or he let the hands fly on the inside. Shoe shining, bam, 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 bam. Punching or putting weight on you. So he constantly got you thinking and reacting to whatever he's doing. So, and of course, you got to give credit to Bozianis. Clearly showed up with a fighter who was very well prepared, had a very good game plan, and they executed. And they was ready for 12, because that's the thing. When you carry that type of power and you're that big, there are expectations that you're going to get a knockout. So what if you show up and you run out of gas? What if Jerrell Miller would have ran out of gas? Round number 9, he's out of gas. He could have got knocked out. But no. Even in the last round, he was letting the hands fly. The assassin. I don't know how true it is, but they want to make Big Baby versus Wilder now. That fight's going to be an ugly fight because Wilder last fight looks sloppy as well. West does it. Then the commentators there, okay, salute for, okay. And bro, your commentary was way better than the commentary. I appreciate it, my brother. I'm waiting for an opportunity, man. I can't wait to get an opportunity to call some fights live so that people can see what this is about. So look, when it comes to Deontay Wilder, there's something that I want to point out, right? Eddie Hearn, you saw him after the fight express interest in Miller versus Wilder. You also saw Big Baby Miller straight up calling him out, saying, yo, Wilder, stop playing them games. Let's do it. So right now, the ball's gonna be in Deontay Wilder's court. He could decide. And you know why I think this is a good fight? This is a good fight for Wilder. This is a good fight for Big Baby. They're gonna get a nice bag. May the best man win. I know who's gonna win that fight, but I'm not gonna say it. JJ said, that's everyone hit the like button and subscribe. Salute, JJ. Bam. Appreciate you dropping in, my brother. So, once again, Big Baby Miller, 12-rounder, bona fide slugfest. Let's see what's next. Eddie Hearn and Big Baby, both of them say, yo, bring Deontay Wilder next. We with the smoke. We with the smoke, my peoples. When the time comes, we'll make the predictions, and I'll tell you who's going to win that fight. I'll let you know who's going to win that fight. I already know this. This is one of those that you know. You just feel it. Fellas. Bad news, man. Damn, I hate delivering bad news. Dalton Smith injured. Puello fight is off. I got to say, man, I don't like this. I don't like this at all. And I'll say why. Dalton Smith gets injured, supposedly. Why are they not telling us that the fight has been postponed? Okay, you're not going to be able to fight this month. Put it for that month. Put it for that date. That's it. Postpone it. But the fight is off. What you mean the fight is off? You're not retiring, homie. You're coming back. So I don't like it for Puello because obviously he deserved that shot. He was about to get it. Let's see. Let's see the way the cookie crumbles. The assassin Jay Smith always wait last second to give a prediction. Not last second. I've done it the week before, 2 weeks before. But damn, you want me to give you a prediction when we don't even know if they're going to fight? We don't know. Let's see. Let's see how the cookie crumbles first. But when it comes to this right here, you know, I hope whatever the situation is with Dalton Smith, so far in the reports that I've seen, they did not reveal what type of injury he has. It could be something serious if they decided to just call off the fight. But let's see. You guys know that Dalton Smith is a fighter that I like watching, elite level guy. I predicted that he was going to put the Swiss, the Dre, and the Apple Beats on Subriel Matias. I saw that coming a mile away. So, you know, I like his skills. I like what he do in the ring. And I see that, you know, it's going to be, or it would have been, a great fight between him and Puello. So disappointed that we're not going to get that showdown, or at least it's not happening anytime soon. Let's see how it plays out. Check this out, man. And Billy, it's a really great fight if it ends up happening. And if Crawford returns, let's make the rematch. Look what Eddie Reynoso's saying. As a trainer, I can see the modifications that we need to make for the Crawford rematch, for the results to go our way. Eddie Reynoso feels like they could win the rematch. I don't know, man. I don't know. Is that cap? Is he just trying to get another bag? Is it really about that? There's two things to this. Number one, it's like you don't respect the fact that Crawford said he's retired. You don't want to respect that. And number two, do you really believe that Canelo will beat Crawford in the rematch? Because I believe Crawford will beat him up worse. It'll be a worse beating if they fight again. Jay said, that's Jay Smith. You have to hurry and make your prediction faster for betting purposes. I got you, bro. I got you. I'm going to work on it, man. I'm going to work on it. Jay said, at this point, Jay Smith is all about the bag. Got to get the bag. But why would you even make these comments? Like, do you believe it? Or it's only about the bag? You say all about the bag, but damn, is it only? Because, I don't know. I have a hard time believing that Eddie Reynoso, you know, would expect a different outcome if they fight again. Or thinks Canelo can win that fight. Based on the fact that the first one, it's not like Canelo, got robbed or lost in a way that people are not convinced, or this fight could have gone either way. No, Terence Crawford beat him. Beat him in a way that we don't need a rematch. And I'd like to see the rematch. I think it's going to be a worse ass whooping. I'd like to see it, but we don't need it. We know who's the best. That's it. There's no getting around it. Woo! Next week, my peoples, you guys know what's going on next week. You guys know what is going on next week. Naoya Inoue, Junto Nakatani, my peoples. Somebody told me yesterday, no, that was Friday, that Nakatani is going to turn Inoue into a sushi roll. Whoa. Do we get an upset for this one? Or is the favorite going to win? Now, you have to remember, recently, there's been conversations about Naoya Inoue versus Bam Rodriguez. Well, what happens if Naoya Inoue wins this fight and Bam also wins? I already said it before. We may get Naoya Inoue versus Bam Rodriguez this year. That would be insane. The assassin, Buck Crawford, beat him up. Beat him up. Like Oscar said, big red Mexican duck. That's it. Crawford did what he had to do. They mad, They want to get their get back just to take a second beating and a bag. Because I feel like that's what it's really about. Let's get another bag with them. We might get beat up, but at least we're gonna put 100 million in the bank. That's what it's about. But gentlemen, May 2nd, which is next Saturday, we're gonna get 2 monster fights. Monster fights, my peoples. Look what the Mexican monster said to Sordo. I'm sorry, Sordo, but I'm gonna beat the shit out of you. Whoa. Benavidez is gonna beat him up, my peoples. I told you. Beat the shit out of you. Benavidez said it himself. You know what that means? Mr. KO, it been looking like he's prepping for war. Inoue getting ready. He knows. Listen, Naoya Inoue knows the type of opponent that he got in front of him. But Saturday is going to be amazing because we get to watch this fight early in the morning, probably like 7 in the morning or something like that. And then at nighttime, we get to watch Benavidez versus Sordo. It's going to be a great weekend of boxing. It's going to be an amazing weekend of boxing. Whoa. The assassin, I'm looking forward to the fight. El Monstruo Bandera Roja. The Mexican monster, David Benavidez. Like I told you, man, he's going to put the Swiss, the Dre, and the respective apple beats on Sordo. Which, listen, I got respect for Sordo. He's a fighter that I enjoy watching. I know what he brings to the table. I know about his technical skills, his power. But ultimately, David Benavidez is the more skilled fighter. And the guy with the higher punch output is going to be the guy with the edge and speed on that night. And it's going to show. The Hydro Grind. Salute, family. Bam. Mr. KO. I got the monster Inoue stopping Nakatani. Along with El Monstruo pummeling Sordo. Whoa, it's going to turn into a pummeling session. What round do you think the monster's going to stop Nakatani? By the way, you got both of the monsters winning the fight. The monster and the Mexican monster. Gabe, what's up, my brother? We in the building. We talking boxing. Getting serious out here. We got some real good fights coming up. And once again, look, let me give you a quick recap, man. Big Baby went into this fight 10 pounds lighter than he was when he got his wig peeled. And it showed. He was in better shape, landing punches, landing combinations, letting the hands go to the mouthpiece, to the wig piece, all over the place, punches and bunches. Jerrell Miller walked out of there with the W. And it was an exciting fight, man. One of those heavyweight showdowns over 1,500 punches thrown by the two fighters combined. That is insane. You get welterweight showdowns where they don't throw that many punches, bro. The hydro grind. I don't see Soto getting stopped, but Benavidez will dominate. Positrap, hey Jay, I'm glad you're on. Salute, my guy. I'm glad I'm on too, so we could talk about all this boxing that's going on. Big Baby did his thing. By the way, we might actually get Jerrell Miller versus Deontay Wilder. That might happen next. I'm happy to see that fight. And let me just say, salute to Jerrell Miller, who posted, I call the fight. You guys know how I call it. The left to the mouthpiece, the right to the wig piece. Oh, what a shot to the toupee. Well, Big Baby, share that story. So if you go to his Instagram, you're going to see yours truly calling the fight how it needed to be called. Yes, sir. Gabe, I got Nakatani pulling off the upset and Benavidez stopping Soto. Oh, you see what I'm saying? You see? You see how competitive these fights are, that we see it so differently? Somebody just said, nah, Soto's not going to stop. Benavidez not going to stop Soto, but you got Benavidez sleeping him. Whoa. Some people say both of the monsters are going to win on Saturday. Some people say this monster is going to get upset by Junto Nakatani. There you have it, my peoples. This is a heck of a showdown. Because if you look at Benavidez and Soto, most people are saying that Benavidez is going to win that fight. Some are saying it's going to be by stoppage. Some are saying it goes to distance. But most people say Benavidez is going to beat him up. Beat him up. But in the case of this fight, opinions vary a little bit more. Some say Junto Nakatani is going to pull off the upset, beat the shit out of Naoya Inoue. And then some say Naoya Inoue is going to turn him into a sushi roll. We're going to find out what it is. But even before these two fighters step in the ring, it's happening next Saturday, my peoples. I'm so excited for this one. I could tell you this is definitely going to be a fight of the year candidate. Remember that I told you this. ACL, bam, salute family. Remember that I told you this. The Assassin J. Smith is still on there. I'm going to go check it out. If that has been 24 hours yet, it's still on there because I posted it yesterday. Oh, shit. Yeah, I think I posted it yesterday. Is it? Let me see. Oh, it's about to go off. It's there, but it's about to go off because I posted it yesterday morning. So I think it's there. Let me see. Let me check it out myself. Oh, nah, that's it. It's gone. Devin. Oh, no. Wait, let me see. Yep, it's there. Look. Let me show you. Big Baby, no, I was calling it right. Big Baby, no, my people, look. Right to the body. Power winner right to the body. Big Baby with a left to the face. Oh, they tried to bounce my people's lefts and rights to the wig piece and the mouth pieces, and the round is over. Whoa. Whoa, my peoples. This fight alone is giving everybody their money's worth. There you have it, my peoples. Big Baby let y'all know how the fight went down via J. Smith. Easy knows I'm back, maestro. Benavidez and Inoue winners. Oh, you got the two monsters. The monster and the Mexican monster. Whoa. Saturday's going to be a monster show. The Hydro Grind. Let's not forget about Munguia versus Resendez, my peoples. It can steal the entire weekend show. Ooh, that's going to be an interesting fight. I was telling you guys about that. Resendez could be a problem. The Assassin. That's lit, J. Smith. We spread it. You see? And look, I appreciate Jerrell Miller. Gotta give him his flower salute to him. Because this is not the first time that he done that. The last time I posted a video about his wig getting pushed. And he posted that too. So he's not reposted, but my stories a couple of times. I appreciate it, big dog. Mr. KO, Inoue has been cracked, even dropped. I won't go for the previous performance, but we've seen what happened after fellow high KO percentage fighters knock him down. Nery paid the price, and also Cardenas. See, that's why we can't really go by that. Remember Tito Trinidad. In the welterweight division, he got dropped multiple times, got up and gave his opponents the beating of a lifetime right after that. So getting knocked down doesn't really mean much. It means you got caught. That's it. Positrite, Jay. Jay was in the zone. I missed the 24-hour production. I had turned off my phone a couple of days. The 24-hour production? You mean prediction? Trent Thomas. It's going to be a good weekend. I mean, we got some great fights, fellas. We got some great fights. I'm super excited. Super excited. And I know you guys are too. By the way, gentlemen, I want you to look at this. Ryan Garcia says that Shakur Stevenson and Raymond Murataya is a 50-50 fight. Do you agree with that? Do you think Shakur versus Murataya is a 50-50 fight? Jason and Jay Smith, do you remember the baby was on the show, but it was some fucker faking it? Some goofball. Marie, no. The assassin Jay. Who gets dropped first in Xander Boost fight? Ooh, that's a good question. That's a good question. I can't answer that right now, man. I really got to analyze that one. But does Ryan really believe, man, that Murataya versus Shakur is 50-50? I don't think he believes that. I think where Ryan is more about he don't like Shakur, and that's why he says this is a 50-50 fight. Positrack. Has Shakur chin ever been tested? I mean, yeah. Look, the thing is that for fans, for a fighter's chin to be tested, it's like he got to get caught with a monster shot. And no, you just got to get hit with a good shot. And guess what? Every fighter get hit with a good shot. Here and there. It just doesn't happen often. But every fighter takes a shot here and there. Every fighter. So Shakur has had a taste. But the better you are defensively, the harder it is to hit you with those punches. So you're not going to get hit with a big shot in every single fight. Jay isn't us. 60-40 sound better. 60-40, okay. 60-40 is cool. That's cool because Murataya can fight. I respect that. I need a bird. Make this fight happen. No excuses. I like this fight. I like this fight. But Shakur's going to beat him up. Make no mistake about it. Beat him up. Keeping it real with you. Side, I got Shakur against Murataya. Positrack. Oh, I know. But we know there's better chins out there than others. Well, that's true. I agree with that. But we haven't seen anything in Shakur to tell us that he doesn't have a good chin. He's been hit with some good shots. Never been wobbled, rattled, anything like that. Side, is Murataya his best move? Was Shakur capping about his next move being his best move? Because Murataya ain't it. I mean, look, I think Murataya is a good fight at 135, where Shakur would be fighting to try to take that belt from him. But at 140, I don't think it's a good fight because then Murataya is going to be challenging and Shakur's not adding to his accomplishments with that win. So I like that fight for Shakur at 135. At 140, it's like, man, I'd rather you fight somebody else. The hydro grind. Nakatani, the naturally bigger fighter, has never been dropped. If I'm not mistaken, and has a bigger KO percentage. No, he don't got a bigger KO percentage. Now you know it has the bigger KO, the higher KO percentage. That I'm pretty sure of. Let me see. Do I have it here? Oh no, I don't have it here. But yeah, oh yeah, up top. You can see it, look, 32 wins to 27 knockouts for Inoue. Nakatani has 32 wins also, but 24 knockouts. So Inoue has the higher knockout percentage. But that's not really going to matter, right? Because both of them are power punchers. Both of them are knockout artists. Both of them are very fast. We just have to see that fight, how it plays out, man. But the fact that it's happening the same day as Benavidez and Soto, that makes it even more exciting. Because you know both of these fights, man, they're going to be action-packed. Action-packed. And nobody, look, regardless of who you think is going to win, nobody's going to get an easy win. You know, Soto is not just going to get washed. Nakatani's not going to get cooked. Or Inoue is not going to be turned into a sushi roll in the first 3 rounds. Pass a track. They both got O's. Exactly. The hydro grind. Do y'all realize on Saturday we will be up 5, 6 a.m. and go to bed at like 3 a.m.? Nah, because look. Let me give y'all the technique for Saturday. For Saturday, you get up in the morning. I think we're going to get the Naoya Inoue versus Junto Nakatani fight like close to 7 in the morning around it. So you get up at 6 in the morning, tune in to Fight Night with Jay Smith, which is going to be Fight Morning with Jay Smith. Enjoy it, have your breakfast, and take a nap. Take a second nap. Sleep it off a couple hours. Because if you get up at 6 in the morning and you don't rest throughout the day, by 1 in the morning when Benavidez and Soto taking the stage, you're going to be like this. Drooling and shit, fighting for your life to stay awake. Take a nap in the daytime, my peoples. We ain't 16 years old anymore. We need rest. The letter M, bam, salute family, bam. Or drank some coffee and we geeked. I don't drink coffee though, man. I'm not a coffee person. But it's going to be interesting because we have great boxing on Saturday. So ultimately, we're all going to be tuning in. We're all going to be looking forward to what's about to go down. Can't wait. Can't wait, my peoples. I got to say it like that. And by the way, let me give you guys another little update. Ryan Garcia versus Devin Haney too. We thought that this fight wasn't happening. We thought it wasn't happening. The Hydro Ryan pre-fight nap, you see, you playing a dangerous game. Pre-fight nap, you playing like a game of Russian roulette when you do that. Because sometimes that pre-fight nap, by the time you wake up, shit been over. You wake up and it's time for breakfast. Talk about I was going to wake up for the fight. Wes Dustin, my guy, you will be on the workshop TV all day. I'll be cutting wood and shadow boxing all day. Ooh, even I'm going to be shadow boxing. I'm going to be shadow boxing, bro. Trent Thomas, that's why it's going to be good. The letter M. Bro, the way Haney moves, I believe it when the bell rings. Nah, when they sign the contract. They just need to sign the contracts. Pastor track. Devin really going to allow himself to get exposed again. Look, Eddie Hearn says that Devin Haney wants too much money. And that's why he couldn't do anything with him. You see that Devin couldn't get the fight done with Rollies. And anybody else, right? He's been back and forth with a few fighters on social media, but nothing is materialized into a fight. Now there's rumors once again that him and Ryan Garcia are going back and forth. Will this fight actually happen next? We don't know. Remember, at some point, Devin even posted a list of the fighters that he wanted to face, and Ryan Garcia was very last on there after they had their last little back and forth on social media. But ultimately, we all want this fight. This is one of the most anticipated rematches of the modern era of boxing. Right there. And you guys know why? Because of the results, because of what happened in the first fight. Yes, Ryan Garcia gave Devin Haney the beating of a lifetime. Beat him up. Beat him up. But we know the 3 pounds overweight. They wasn't even fighting for the title because of that. And Ryan Garcia popped 30. The win was overturned, and it's now a no contest. But we need that rematch. We need to know how the fight plays out. Plus, both of them at the welterweight division are, have shown to be the best version of themselves. The letter M, Haney got beat up convincingly. I'm not sure he can beat Garcia. Who you got, Jay? I'm not ready to make a prediction yet on that one. But if they announce it, I'll make it right away, just so people won't say that I take forever to make predictions. Right away, I'm making the prediction. The Nutter, what's up? Salute, family. Bam. Clifton Dennis. PEDs, 3.5 cheat. You see? There you go. So there's a lot of history behind that fight. We know that Ryan beat him up, but we also know that he popped 30. We also know that he showed up overweight to the fight. So we can't really, give him full credit for that pummeling session. The Nutter, how do you rate Junto chances against Inoue? I think he wins, and it's just as good as Inoue. Too many Inoue D riders out here, man. Look, I said this before. Junto Nakatani, I feel like he's a 50-50 fight against Naoya Inoue. That's how good he is. He's a great fighter. A lot of people even forget about the fact Nakatani is the number 6 ranked pound-for-pound fighter in the world. Number 6 pound-for-pound. This guy's ahead of David Benavidez on the pound-for-pound list. So he definitely got a chance to win that fight. And you know what gives him even more of a chance? How evenly they're matched up. If you look at their speed, they're both really fast. If you look at the power, they both got power. They both hit really hard. But Nakatani has the height advantage by 3 inches and the reach advantage by 1 inch. That height and reach advantage in favor of Junto Nakatani could be a factor in the fight. The letter M, Nakatani is going to sushi roll the monster with that little sauce to dip him in. Pause. Ooh, with the little duck sauce. Damn, he going to dip him in with the chopsticks? Dip him right in there? The Nutter. He a lefty too, and we've seen a lefty drop Inoue before, you see? That can also be a problem. Inoue has shown to have difficulties with a couple of southpaws. J. Jack, Haney talked too much. His daddy worse. It's been 3 years. No headlights. No highlights. Wait a minute, J. Jack. Devin Haney has some pretty good highlights against Brian Norman Jr. Gotta give him that. Let's not take that away from him. He looks spectacular out there. In fact, Devin Haney in the welterweight division, dare I say, he's the best version of himself, bro. Best version of Devin Haney. The Nutter. Oh no, J. Jack. The Nutter, that Norman victory was awesome, man. Come on. Put the Dre, the Swiss, and the Apple beats on Brian Norman Jr., who people thought was going to beat him. I'll remind you that Devin Haney went into that fight as the underdog. People was predicting Brian Norman Jr. was going to knock him out. What he does, drop him early and then beat him up. Beat him up. Trent Thomas. So we need to see the upgrade of these fighters, Ryan and Devin. The letter M, Haney whooped Norman Jr. And it surprised me he let his hands go. That version will be great against Garcia. Positrack. Ryan's been working even more on his right hand. Yes, he used it a lot more in that fight versus Barrios. Probably saw that. Look, the reality is that Devin Haney and Ryan Garcia are both the best version of themselves in the welterweight division. But we have to see the rematch. We simply have to see it. Conor Benn, my peoples. Since we talking about the rematch, let me just point out, Conor Benn firing at everyone. He wants Rollies, Ryan Garcia, Shakur Stevenson, Devin Haney. He says everybody is ducking him. But bro, you signed with Zuffa Boxing. The fuck is you talking about? You signed with Zuffa Boxing. Have you seen anybody on Zuffa Boxing fighting for world titles? What are we doing? You almost sealed your fate when you chose to go in that direction. I don't know that Conor Benn is going to be able to get any of those fights. Clifton Dennis. Who's ducking in your opinion? Dev or Ryan? No, I don't think anybody's ducking. I think they both want to fight each other. And it's about the business aspect of it. Got to make sense. But I don't think no. I think both of them want to get in the ring. The letter M. Conor Benn is officially a clout chaser, bro. You Zuffa. Go get him over here, boy. And it won't work. That's it. You do like, look, I'll give you an example. You saw Regis Prograis, who signed with I don't know who to fight Conor Benn, right? These dudes ain't gonna sign with no Zuffa Boxing to go fight over there. So, what exactly are you talking about? You calling fighters out that are not gonna do business with Zuffa. So, it does come across like some clout chasing shit. And by the way, you guys know that I'm a Conor Benn fan. And I've always said it, you know. I like a lot of the things that he does. You know, Conor Benn is a fighter who moves like he got a chip on his shoulder. And I like it when he, you know, that aggressiveness, when he see fighters and he press them in person, or all of that, I'm with it. The trash talking out with all of that. I like it. That's part of the sport of boxing. But when he start talking about, this guy's ducking me, or I want to fight that guy, man, listen, start calling out people on Zuffa Boxing. Go call out Richardson Hitchens. We know that fight could be made. Call him out. Are you calling out people that don't even do business with Dana White? JJ said that's exactly Jay Smith. Conor put himself in a tougher position to get these big fights. And I said this before. So far, we have not seen anyone on Zuffa Boxing fight for a main world title, for one of the 4 major belts. Nobody. Why would Conor Benn think that he's even going to be able to fight these dudes? And you guys saw Oscar De La Hoya get on and literally repeat what I said word for word. He said, Conor, you signed with them. They'll only let you fight for that piece of shit belt. There you have it. You focus on Zuffa. You just signed a contract with them. Focus on Zuffa and what opponents are going to be available for you. And leave them people alone because you ain't going to fight them. Wasting your time. The letter M, you can be a fan, but I always respect you. Keep it real. First, salute, bam. Trent Thomas, he tried to cause the second British invasion. Look, right now, honestly, I don't know who Conor Benn is going to fight when they, put him on a Zuffa card. I'm guessing he'll be a main event. I don't know who he's going to fight. I don't know who they got in his division to match him up with. But Richardson Hitchens is moving up to the welterweight division. So that's a good fight right there. That's a good matchup. That's a good matchup. Conor Benn versus Richardson Hitchens, my people. I'll take it. Any day of the week. That's just me. That's just me, fellas. Um, hold on one second. I got something for you fellas. Hold on one second, fellas. Boom. So, are we gonna get Big Baby versus Deontay Wilder? Is that fight actually gonna happen next? And of course, if Big Baby Miller and the Browns bomber Wilder do fight each other, who do you got winning that fight? Who wins? Who pulls it off? Remember, they both coming off of wins. The letter M, Wig Baby Miller. Pasta track. Wig separate. Funny picture. Boxing fanatical. What up, family? Bam. If Wig Baby Miller fights the bronze bomber Deontay Wilder, who's going to win that fight? And I'm asking you guys just to ask, because I know the answer to that question. I know if Big Baby Miller and Deontay Wilder fight each other, I know who is. I know how this fight plays out. But, you know, I'm not going to ruin it for you. I want you guys to enjoy it, right? Have a good time with it. But I know how this fight plays out, gentlemen. I have to be honest. Pasta trap, Deontay, Clifton Dennis, Big Baby should win. And we already got, you see? We already got two contradicting each other. Pasta track says Deontay. Clifton says Big Baby. The letter M. Wilder's older, but can still drop bombs. Miller got to fight inside and do him like Paro. They both got their own style. And you know what? It's an interesting matchup. It's an interesting matchup. And a fight breaks out really early on, and it's hard to see that fight going the distance. It could, because we just saw Wilder going 12 rounds in his last fight. But man, Wilder and Baby in close quarters, trading bombs. I don't know. I don't know how this thing plays out, gentlemen. I don't think it goes the distance. That's just me. Pasta track. I think Deontay has a good chance after coming off of a battle. The Hydro Grind, Bohachuk and Hitchens are the only two notable welters with Zuffa. There you go. But aren't they? Who is Bohachuk fighting next? He's fighting. Who is Bohachuk fighting next? But let's see. Look, it's the same thing with Edgar Berlanga. Who is he going to fight on Zuffa Boxing right now? The letter M. And credit to Miller. He's in great shape and will get better in my opinion. Great shape, man. And salute to Bozianis. Bozianis training him on that corner, giving him great instructions. And you see the type of shape that he showed up in. 12 rounds of action. Over 1,500 punches combined between the two fighters. Crazy. Pasta track. Deontay still got that power. And all he got to do is touch his chin. But in his last fight, he couldn't touch Chisora's chin the way you say. He couldn't do it. See, the thing is, Wilder, he already lost a step. And that's that little bit of difference right there that he lost. It means a lot. It means a lot when you have to time somebody and catch him with that perfect shot. Look, I got to say, Big Baby versus Wilder, that is a competitive fight. And I know that they will trade some nasty leather. They will try to inflict bodily harm upon each other. Who wins it? I'm going with Big Baby. He got the momentum, in my opinion. Momentum in his favor. I got him winning that fight if they face each other. The letter M. So you mean you asking, where's his power, bro? Where's your power, bro? Coño, loco. Tío Fimo Pops. JJ says, Wilder is on the down slope. You see, if Wilder had Teofimo pops in his corner. You know you're going to hear it. Where's your power, bro? Where's your power, bro? You're going to hit yourself in the morning, bro. The worst instructions I ever seen in my life, man. Positive, you're right. And Deontay's fundamentals. Oh, man. Fundamentals. As you get older, a little bit slower, a little bit sloppy, shit goes down the window, down the drain. Side, Tim Tszyu getting his dream fight. There you go. Oh no, Tim Tszyu is getting Virgil Ortiz's dream fight. And Tim Tszyu didn't even have to say, you know, my dream fight is Errol. He didn't have to do all that goofy shit. The letter M. Bomb squad. I can't go against my guy. Wilder catches him and it's over. Does he catch him? That's the thing. Will he catch him with that shot? That devastating blow that you need to land. I don't know. I don't know. Shakur hands, bomb squad. You guys have to also take into consideration, man. Big Baby could take a shot and stand right there, eat it like a blueberry muffin. Just like that. So, it's not like Wilder's going to land a shot and just get him out of there. You got to break him down. And with the high punch output that Big Baby shoulders, and he could do it for 12 rounds, Deontay Wilder could run into trouble. Pasta track. To this day, Wilder still doesn't have any fundamentals. Damn, man. To this day, Shakur hands. No bum squad. JJ said that. Remember, guys, if you want to make money, don't bet with your heart. That's what I'm talking about. You guys going with Wilder, you're going with your heart. In your words, I could see your heart. You're pouring it all out. Nah, bro, it's not about your heart. It's about up here. You analyzing everything that you see and rendering a reasonable conclusion, which is Big Baby's gonna beat him up. Beat him up. And I got mad love for the Bronze Bomber, but, bro, Big Baby, the way that he looked, nah. And by the way, you guys know I've been saying this, Big Baby, he underrated. A lot of people don't really see or don't really realize how good he is. And I pointed that out before the fight. Big Baby lost one time to Daniel Dubois. It's not like Big Baby's some average Joe. Easy knows. Big Baby will wear Wilder out. I'm telling you, the Bronze Bomber, I don't know that he can handle Big Baby. And you see him putting his weight on his opponent, wearing him down, wearing them legs down, turning them into jelly, and then constantly combinations to the dome piece, to the mouthpiece, to the wig piece, to the body. It's hard to deal with that type of pressure. And Wilder's a fighter, even in his last fight that he won, you see how awkward he looks when he has to move back, fight off of his back foot, use lateral movement. He look awkward as hell. He don't look comfortable doing that. Pasta track. I honestly hope for a good referee. So if Wilder's getting hurt, they stop it. Because I don't want him not speaking in 10 years. Man, I don't want to see anybody get hurt. But I do enjoy watching people get beat up. Just like you guys. Be honest. The letter M. All I know, those heavyweights be hard. Those thuds. I'd be like, damn, yo. I mean, look at this dude, man. You know the type of punch you gotta take to the mouthpiece to put a facial expression like that one? Punches is different. Kenneth Harvin. Wilder not the same since the Fury trilogy. I think Wilder is done. So, look, I feel like Wilder can be good up to a certain level, up to a certain point. He can beat good fighters. He can beat some of them. But he's not going to be able to beat the top guys, the big dogs. I don't see him being able to win over any of those guys. In fact, in this fight right here versus Jerrell Miller, I got Jerrell beating him up. Beating him up. My personal take. And I got love for Deontay Wilder and everything, but boxing is a what have you done for me lately sport. It's been a long time since Deontay Wilder got a significant win. Long time. So how exactly do you say, oh yeah, he can beat this guy, he can beat that guy? It's hard to do it. But I gotta tell you, man, I give his flowers to Puello, because Puello ate some nasty shots. 12 rounds of action, and Puello had to survive some bombs. And that's exactly what he did. Respect to Puello. The letter M, does AJ beat Miller? Ooh. Well, it looks like AJ supposedly was going to fight Deontay Wilder next. I guess that fell apart. I don't know. That's a good fight. Miller versus AJ is a good fight. Shakur hands. Conor Benn trash. Whoa. Garbage. Look, all we know right now is that Eddie Hearn expressed interest in Miller versus Wilder. Jerrell Miller himself called out Wilder. So we know on their side they want to make that fight. The ball is in Wilder's court. Let's see what he want to do. Let's see if they want to take this fight. We're going to find out. Soon enough, we're going to find out, my peoples. And then, of course, look, I want to see what's next. What's going to be next for Shakur Stevenson? Because, look, there's even a rumor out there. This is crazy, my people. A rumor out there that they try to make, or that they try to offer Shakur versus Devin. But all of these young fighters, you see their name, being linked to each other. People saying or reporting that Devin and Shakur might happen. People reporting that Shakur and Tank might happen. And then Ryan Garcia versus Rollies, a rematch. But no, that's not going to happen. A rematch with Devin Haney maybe, which now that's being reposted again. Ultimately, we don't know. Right now, we don't know Devin Haney's next opponent. We don't know Shakur Stevenson's next opponent. Pasta track. Jay, when are you going to tell us that SS is your favorite fighter? We got to give AJ as much time as he needs after what the dude been through. Yeah, he's not rushing. He's not rushing. He's going to come back when he's ready. So, as far as Shakur being my favorite fighter, he is. You're right. Shakur is my favorite fighter. I don't know if I said. So, Terrence Crawford was my favorite fighter, but he retired. So, my favorite active fighter right now, yeah, Shakur Stevenson, for sure. Side. Bueno, Shaki versus Ford. I didn't see the date for that one, but that is approaching us. I think that's right now in the summertime. That's going to be a good one, too. Those two, you've seen them, going back and forth on social media, but also doing it in person. You see the tension in the air when they see each other. And you could tell they don't like each other. That's going to be a good fight. Real good fight. The letter M. I saw Wiki Wright say, and I agree, these guys chasing the bag and not the legacy. And the journey takes you to the big bag. And Shakur is my number one right now, too. So that's the one thing that you can appreciate about Shakur Stevenson, about Devin Haney, and about other fighters out there, that they're actually trying to accomplish. They trying to become the best. They trying to get to a point where they can say, I'm the guy, I'm the greatest of this generation, and then go into that all-time greatness. But they're doing it. They're doing it inside the ring. All you have to do is look at the accomplishments. Shakur hands. If that's Zuffa, uni or no. So, I don't know if Devin Haney is going to end up going to Zuffa boxing. But we spoke about it before. The other fighters are signed long-term with a promotional company. Devin isn't. So he can. If they get him the right opponent, the matter of fact, it's the right amount of money. If they pay him the right amount of money, I think they could bring him over to Zuffa Boxing. You got to have the right dance partner. Pass the track. I seen a video of Bud just on the street, and he's a big guy. I don't know why they thought Canelo was so much bigger. Look, man, I told people before the fight that when it was time for the weigh-in, the people who was rooting for Canelo was going to be scared. Once they see Crawford and Canelo face to face, they was going to realize Canelo's not much bigger than Crawford. He don't even look bigger than Crawford. If you saw him the day before the fight, he didn't even look bigger. Because there's something that a lot of people didn't understand. And I spent like 3 months explaining it to people, but they wouldn't understand it. And it's that Terence Crawford didn't just move up to 168 to fight Canelo. You got to remember, between his last fight with Madrimov and his fight with Canelo Alvarez, it was almost like a year. Almost like a year. The point is that Crawford took a very long time, months and months and months, bulking up, gaining that weight. That's not something that he just did all of a sudden. So, and I'm going to point something out to you that I think was interesting, and it just flew right past people's minds. When Canelo fought the Cuban dude that he fought, William School. When he fought William School, the day before the fight, Terence Crawford hopped on a scale. And he weighed 181 pounds. Let that sizzle in your spirit. The same day that Canelo weighed 168 for the fight that he made weight, Crawford was weighing 181 pounds. Almost 20 pounds heavier than Canelo. When Canelo was about to fight School. So people was acting like Terence Crawford was going to just, I don't know, eat a bunch of pizza and try to gain the weight. I remember somebody even told me, yo, Crawford's not going to make 168. He's too small. He's probably going to show up like a 165. Not realizing that Crawford walking around in the 180s. And not just walking around in the 180s. Bulking up. Throughout the year, before Crawford fought Canelo, you saw him running, weighing big like that. You saw him running, sparring, training, just going hard as hell, weighing in the 180s. So when it was time to fight Canelo, guess what? He had to cut weight. It's not like people thought he's going to gain weight to 168 to fight Canelo. He had to cut weight just like Canelo Alvarez. Body had been adjusted, been sparring at that weight for months, been sparring bigger guys than Canelo Alvarez. And that's why when you saw him in the face-off the day before the fight, Canelo didn't look big. People painted this thing like it was going to be David and Goliath, this huge man. And those factors, I took them into consideration from the very beginning. Another factor that people ignored. Bro, Canelo, a small 168 pounds. Canelo, a small 168 pounder. Look at all of his opponents in that division. They're all bigger than him. So Crawford is not just going to fight any 168 pounder. He's not going to fight the big guys. Look, they try to link him up with David Benavidez. He was like, man, that shit don't make no sense. But the size difference between Crawford and Canelo, it wasn't what people thought it was going to be. And I try to tell everybody, bro, it's not going to be the size difference you expected. And you saw it. 2 left hooks. Bam. Salute, family. The letter M. Jay was in the kitchen cooking up, playing We're the Champion when Crawford beat Canelo ass. Check it out. Had to do it. Had to do it, man. Look, I'm gonna tell you like this. Since I started creating content, boxing content, my two biggest moments in boxing have been given to me by Terence Crawford. Number one, when he beat Arrow, that you guys know how everybody was saying Arrow's gonna knock him out, Arrow's too big, Arrow's too strong. If Gamboa hurt him, imagine what Arrow's gonna do to him. Y'all remember all that. And I predicted that Crawford's gonna knock him out. And you saw how that fight played out. Beating of a lifetime. And then my second biggest moment since I started doing boxing content was Canelo Alvarez and Terence Crawford, which again, I told people what was going to happen, and it did. Try to tell everybody. I try to tell people, yo, Crawford's going to beat him up. Beat him up. But y'all wouldn't listen. Some of you didn't want to listen to me. The letter M. But then became accident Arrow. Oh, yeah, as soon as Crawford beat him. The same people who spent 3 months telling me that Arrow Special was too big, too strong, and was going to knock him out, then turned him into accident Arrow. Shakur hands beat him up. Beating of a lifetime. Which, by the way, man, that fight between Big Baby and Perro, my people, they traded the nastiest of the nastiest leather. Side, car accident Arrow. The letter M, Canelo was too big before the fight, then too small after the fight. I was like, what the F? People switched up. Bro, I seen people go from Canelo's gonna knock him out, Canelo's gonna knock him out, right after the fight. Nah, man, Canelo just not the same anymore. He hasn't been the same in a long time. What the fuck? You just told me you was gonna knock him out. Now he ain't the same no more? So you have to understand, man. Some people just refuse to give credit to a fighter who actually did what had to be done to get that W. Respect the fighters, my people. Show love, appreciate accomplishments, and stop trying to hate so much. No need to hate. Now, I gotta be honest with y'all, man. There's a couple of fights that I really want to see, but before we get to that, fellas, it looks like we're going to get this in Australia. Whoa, my peoples. Pasta track, no. Bud was just better. That's just the reality. Facts. Mickey Rourke, salute family. Jay is that. People talking shit about the fight and disappear for weeks. You remember that? You remember that, JJ? People trash talking. Canelo's gonna beat him up. Canelo's gonna knock him out. After the fight, motherfuckers didn't come back on the show for like a month. 2 left hooks, 305 pounds, and throwing over 1,000 punches is insane. Good fight. The conditioning for Big Baby was insane. Side, if Errol wins against Zoo, will they still say the accident is when he lost to Bud? I mean, I don't know, man. I don't know in reality, to be honest. There's some people that will always use the accident for Bud. But I debunked that theory a million times. I mean, the accident went away so he could beat Danny. It stayed away so he could beat Ugas, but then it came back when he fought Bud. Like, that shit don't even make no sense. Pasta track. Arrow makes me laugh every time I see him. I don't know why. I think bro looks like a clown. Damn. Damn, bro. I don't think Arrow looked like a clown. Maybe you have that image after he took the beating of a lifetime. Aroma sound Canelo lead a good performance before he rematched Terence so the people could feel like he has a better chance to win and be more interested in seeing it. Yeah, but we're not going to see him. Bud is retired, so, like, it's not happening. He got to sit and let that loss marinate in his spirit. Aroma sound, people might just not like Bud and won't give him his credit no matter what. That's the reality. Because if you think about it, the hate that Terence Crawford has been getting intensified when he got to the welterweight division and the PBC created this whole other side of the street narrative. From that point on, that's it. Terence Crawford had legions of fans formulating weird-ass arguments just to argue against him. Mr. D. Bonilla, I gave Crawford his credit after he beat Errol, but I'm sure you saw a lot of people that refused to do it. A lot of people who put more emphasis on the accident than on everything else. Pasta track, sorry, Arrow, Aroma Sound. It's either his opponent was washed or he won because he's on snack. There's always something. There's always going to be something. But that is the case with every great fighter who ever lived. Look at Shakur. At some point, they say that he's boring, or that he don't got no power, or that everything that they said about Floyd, Shakur's the new Floyd. Now they saying it about him. Max 7 Life's skill set is different than accolades. Accolades are political. Now wait a minute. Not necessarily political, because you got to win inside the ring. You know, politics could put you in a position that other fighters don't get. You still got to win inside the ring, my guy. Mr. D. Bonilla, Jerrell Miller never been the same since he popped for PEDs. I mean, he didn't look the same, bro. Yesterday, he definitely looked. Matter of fact, he didn't look the same. He looked better than ever with over 1,000 punches per. Crazy. The letter M. They even tried a narrative about Crawford hand wraps in the Spencer and Canelo fight. Man, they done tried that everything. If it wasn't the hand wraps, it's that, you know, his opponents are washed up. They not the same anymore. Look, Canelo wasn't the same anymore. Kell Brook wasn't the same anymore. Amir Khan wasn't the same anymore. Sean Porter wasn't the same anymore. Canelo and Errol were not the same anymore. Nobody's the same after Terence Crawford beat him. Even if before the fight, people say, you gotta beat him, then they turn into not the same anymore. Some guy, you think Netflix is good for boxing? Yeah, I believe so. I believe so. I think the more options we have as fans, the better it is for boxing and the better it is for us. But ultimately, I say promotional companies and networks have to find better ways to work with each other more consistently. Max 7 Life. Jay, will you bet Shakur beats Tank? Bet you don't. Of course I will. That's easy money. I'm going to get a quick flip on that one, of course. Come on, man. That's going to be an easy win. The Nutter, baby, will walk Deontay down. I believe that. I believe that. And in fact, you saw Chisora walking him down in his last fight. And Wilder was super awkward, super uncomfortable, trying to back away and use lateral movement. The footwork is almost non-existent. Mr. D. Bonilla, Eddie Hearn, in the ring, hinting on how if Miller takes this serious, loses some more weight, he'd be a problem. But he got to take it serious. Look, man, he lost 10 pounds. 10 pounds. When compared to his last fight, when he got his wig pushed. And look, bro, threw over 1,000 punches in this fight. That's it, you're right. You got to stay in shape and even get in better shape. Max 7 Life, if Tank was Shakur's size, Shakur would never call him out. Well, Tank is bigger than Shakur. He's just short. Tank is bigger than Shakur. Motherfucker walk around in the 180s. What are you talking about? You think, why? I don't understand why boxing fans equate short to small. You think short is small, so tall is big? Because if tall is big, hey, put Ryan in the heavyweight division. Put Fundora in the heavyweight division. They're tall. Meanwhile, Tank Davis be walking around weighing 180 pounds. Come on, man. You got to do better than that. Stop copping plays for Tank Davis. The letter M. Crawford. And you know what's funny, Max 7 Life? That Tankomaniacs, they only use size for Tank Davis. You want Canelo to fight Benavidez? Benavidez is mad big in front of Canelo. You don't say Canelo's too short for Benavidez. Ah, but Tank is short for Shakur. I see. I see the if not having the same energy was a person right there. Different energy for Tank Davis. 2 left hooks, 12 pounds. Pass the track. Yeah, I mean, if Duke can literally get his weight split and keep coming forward, he's tough. You're right. Got his weight pushed and still applied pressure. With the weight pushed back. Aroma sound, it doesn't matter if boxing is on channel 2475 or if it's streaming on Tubby. As long as we're getting good fights that we can watch for free, it's good for boxing. Boxing track. My dad was 5'4", 195 pounds wide. That's what people don't understand, man. They try to use Tank being short as an excuse, and it's like, damn, why you got every excuse to have Tank duck and cherry pick his whole career? Why you have those excuses? You don't use that for other fighters. Only think about it, my peoples. When else do you hear, no, because he's short, that's why they want to fight him? Well, when else do we even hear that? That doesn't exist. Only for Tank Davis. Mr. Divonia, look at Andy Ruiz. He's short, and he's in the heavyweight division. You see? There you have it. It's not about who's tall and who's short, but people scared to death of Shakur Stevenson, so they bring up the excuses for Tank. Mickey Rourke, the Tank and Ben Glaze is real. I don't know, where do you see Tank hate? What has been said that is hate? What has been said? Don't you mean the switching energy? Where you could say, yo, Canelo gotta fight Benavidez. Fight Benavidez, Canelo. And Benavidez a giant in front of Canelo. But Tank to fight Shakur, Tank is too little. Tank is too little, it's not fair. Huh? So Canelo, go fight the big guy. Go fight the giant Canelo. Tank, no, he needs to fight short fighters from Mexico only. Flat-footed short fighters for Tank. Man, get the fuck out of here. That shit is goofballery logics. Mickey Rourke, put some respect on Tank J. Smith before I give you a right to the dome piece. I mean, I got my respect for Tank Davis. I believe he is one of the best, but he's not fighting the best. Honesty is all about honesty. He's not fighting the best. You guys know that. Santiago Ramirez. Good morning, my brother. Is Errol Spence coming back to fight? I didn't think he'd been the same since the car accident. He was a good one for sure. I mean, he definitely was the same after the car accident because he beat world champion Danny Garcia. He beat world champion Jordanis Ugas. So, you know, when you beat 2 world champions, yeah, you're the same. Look, they sold you that logic to hate on Terence Crawford. And somehow they convinced you of that. But you saw Errol Spence beat 2 world champions. There you go. He was always the same. What made him not look the same is that he fought such a great fighter in Terence Crawford. That's why he didn't look the same. When people get beat up, they never look the same. That's always the logic. Not the same. He not the same. Nobody said that when he was beating Danny Garcia and when he was beating Jordanis Ugas. He was the same. The letter M. Tank is literally at the 160s right now. He said it himself. He mad big, just shorty. But that's the point, my brother. Tank Davis be walking around in the 170s. This dude big as hell. In fact, I could even argue that Tank is a weight bully. Tank a weight bully. Think about this. Tank is 30 years old. He's 2 years older than Shakur. And they fought together at 135. Shakur already moved up to 140. Tank already fought at 140 years ago against Mario Barrios. But he went back down to 135 to keep cherry-picking, dehydrating, and fighting, you know, disadvantaged opponents, smaller opponents. 5 whole years at 135 fighting the little guys. Weight bully stuff. Weight bully material. Bro, Lamar Roach from 130 pounds. Way bully shit. Bro, Androide Garcia from the 130 pounds to fight him at 135. Way bully shit. Went back down to 130 to fight little Leo. Way bully shit. And they are gonna talk about, no, it's that he's short though. He's short. Motherfucker been fighting at 135 since he was 25 years old. 5 years. Think about your body when you was 25 and when you was 30 and see if you still had the same body. 5 years apart from 25 to 30. Your shoulders are wider, your back is bigger, your whole body got bigger from 25 to 30. And Tank still shrinking himself down to 135 pounds. And people talk about, no, it's that he's short. He's very short. So he cannot fight guys that are taller. Like, what are we talking about? What kind of excuse is that? That he's short? Who, like, come on, man. Pass the track. And look at Topuria, he's 5'6", and knocking everyone out to the shadow realm. The thing is, if you don't know shit about boxing, you try to compare heights. It's not about heights. It's about skills. Skills pay the bills. JJ's in the house. Jay Smith with a Muppet voice. Mickey Rourke. If your boy Corb mixed with PR or Dominican, Puerto Rican. Half Puerto Rican, half black. Mr. D. Bonilla. It's called double standards, Jay. Tank fighting bigger guys. Yeah, they want Canelo to fight Benavidez. Double standard. But that's what I'm trying to tell you. They want Canelo to fight a giant in front of him. But Tank Davis, who walk around heavier than this guy's, oh, no, but he's short. He's short. He's too little. They want Tank Davis fighting Naoya Inoue. Naoya Inoue move up from 112. From 112, Inoue move up and fight Tank. That's crazy. They want all the fighters to fight the biggest, the stronger, the baddest fighter. Tank Davis, oh, no, he's short, though. That's different for Tank. Come on, man. William P. Other phone died. I'm back in the building. Salute, family. Bam. The letter M. Tank is ducking. He can make weight versus Shakur. Weight bully bullshit. Look, everybody who's not a Tankomaniac knows Tank Davis is ducking Shakur. Know that he been on some weight bully shit at 135. Know that the Tankomaniacs always come up with some weird-ass logic. Daisy Sanchez, Inoue versus Nakatani, the best fight for the weekend. Their country behind them. Sold out 55,000. Even the weigh-ish have a price tag. Golly, the weigh-in had a price tag too. 55,000 people showing up for Inoue versus Junto Nakatani. That's going to be a heck of a showdown. I told you guys ahead of time, I'm already predicting that this is going to be a fight of the year candidate. They will be trading some serious leather. Nasty leather. Mickey Rourke, I can't wait for Tank to return and put the beats on court. What will you say then, Jay Smith? Come on, my brother. Tank been ducking Shakur this whole time. Why would you even think he's going to fight him? Why? That man even get mad if they mention Shakur name in front of him. Why would you even think that? That's the problem. You guys believe Tank is going to beat Shakur. Tank don't believe he's going to beat Shakur. He don't believe you. William P. I don't right now. I gain weight. But really, it's just a diet thing. And this, by the way, pass the track. No, Canelo should never get in the ring with Benavidez. Bad outcome. I mean, Benavidez will give him the beating of a lifetime. Like Shakur Stevenson will give Tank Davis the beating of a lifetime. Mickey Rourke, will your head bow if Tank dismantles core Jay Smith? Will you respect his legacy? I mean, look, I believe that Tank Davis is a great fighter. I already respect him. I got respect for Tank Davis already. But what will you do if Shakur make him look like a bus driver? What will you do if Shakur Stevenson make him look like a McDonald's burger flipper? A Burger King fries fryer? Huh? A Taco Bell burrito roller? What are you going to do then? Are you going to show up and be like, yeah, Jay, you was right. Shakur's that dude. William P. Tank ain't going to fight Shakur. End of discussion. I'm trying to tell him. I'm trying to tell him. Mr. Diwania, Tank mindset is, why do I have to jeopardize my record when I sell tickets, fighting smaller competition? I definitely don't like it. I was a Tank fan, but he lost me as a fan, as I'm sure others too. Pasta track, oh shit, that was Haney in that sparring. The letter M. Tanktards are more confident than the man himself. Scared of Shakur, he called them out, and Tank. Shh. But that's what I've been said, that Tank Davis fans are more confident about Tank beating Shakur than Tank is confident about that happening. Pasta track, tiny ducking dancer. Tank needs more names on that record, in my opinion. Is that the new nickname? Is that nickname gonna catch on? I've been hearing a lot of people say Tiny Tank. Tiny Tank? Mickey Rourke, I'll eat my crow and bow. That core is the best. I most definitely will concede Jay Smith on live. I'll come up next day and say I was wrong. It would be a devastating blow to me. Didn't you have Canelo Alvarez beating Terrence Crawford too? I try to tell you. Crawford's gonna put the Swiss, the Dre, and the Apple Beats on him. Max 7 Life. Crazy part is everything y'all say about Tank and Shakur is wrong. It's crazy. I don't know what you're talking about. That's too generalized. Adari, Jay Smith, who will win? Jerrell Miller versus Agit Caballero. Ooh. Whoa. Whoa, hold on, man. You dragging me into the deep waters with that fight. The letter M, Tank versus strippers. We might get, listen, Adari, we might get Big Baby versus Deontay Wilder. If we get that fight, I got Jerrell Miller walking out of there with the W. Man, that's why Tank won't make that fight happen. Shakur is a better boxer. Tank has to knock him out to win, and he knows it. I think that's part of the reason why we don't get Tank Davis versus Shakur Stevenson. Because Tank and his team, they know we got to knock him out to win this fight. If we don't knock Shakur out, forget about it. He going to make it look like we work at a bus stop. Now, fellas, stay focused, because next week we got this showdown right here, the Monster versus Nakatani in the morning, and then at nighttime, the Mexican Monster against Zurdo. 2 action-packed fights that are going to be taking place on the same day. 1 in the morning, 1 at night. Mickey Rourke, it's crazy. Oh, wait a minute, I already read that. Shakur hands Tankomaniac rules, man. The Tankomaniac, they have their own logic for Tank. Their own situation that they figure it out. Jay is, and that's no ghost watching. My peoples, we've been going at it for an hour and a half. Hour and a half. Look at the likes, man. Why everybody want to be ghost watching up in here? Size strippers by court decision. Whoa. The stripper's going to get a W on Tank Davis. Pasta track. Tank protecting that O. Like a virgin on prom night. Daisy Sanchez, I'd rather see Tank in a violent fight than a running contest. Trent Thomas, Tank is good, but Shakur is on a different level. I already told you guys, Shakur will beat him, and it's not one of those fights where you think Tank got robbed or Shakur got gifted the W. No. Beat him up. Beat him up. Convincing fashion. Mickey Rourke, who you got, Jay Smith? I like the Monster, but I like saying Nakatani name. And I got the Mexican Monster for the win. So you got the Monster and the Mexican Monsters? Both Monsters with the W? But you just want to say Nakatani, fuck it. Adari J. Smith, who you got? David Benavidez versus Shorter Ramirez. I got Benavidez. I got Benavidez winning that fight in devastating fashion. I know Sordo's going to make it interesting. He's a real good technical fighter, real good on the inside. And, you know, he knows how to stand in there and bang with you. But ultimately, David Benavidez with the high punch output, with the edge and speed, with the combinations, yeah, he got that. The letter M, Shakur should maybe strip. Only way I see Tank wanting to fight. JJ's in their house. Don't talk about strippers. They have to make money too. And I support them. Salute to the strippers for doing what they have to do to get that paper. Side, David is going to put Surdo in a blender. Mr. D will need a sort of slow as hell at cruiserweight. Let's see how David looks at 199. I'm going to tell you guys like this, man. Surdo, in his last couple of fights, I see him looking super slow. Super slow. And he just doesn't have the type of punch output to match what Benavidez does. So I think he could make it interesting, but Benavidez is going to beat him up. Beat him up. You could take that to the bank to get some pounds. The letter M, Surdo, getting knocked out. Sleep. Might be left. You know when fighters are stiff, with the hands stiff in the floor like that, and the eyes closed? That's how you know. That's how you know you're really sleeping and counting sheep. There's a possibility, my peoples, that Surdo may be left counting sheep. It happens to the best of them, fellas. It's part of the sport. Side, stiffer than an action figure. Mickey Rourke. I can already hear Jay Smith now. The humanity. It's going to be that type of fight. Both of them. Mr. D. Bonilla, David Benavidez by TKO. Surdo going to get really hurt. The ref got to stop it. This could turn into a pummeling session. Daisy Sanchez, Team Surdo. I'm sorry to tell you, Daisy, Surdo's going to get beat up. Beat up. Adari, Jay Smith, I hope we will see Jai Opetaia versus David Benavidez. We're going to see that fight, but it's going to take some time. The letter M, the stiff arms, twist mouth. You know when a fighter down like that, it's a wrap. It's going to take some time for us to get Benavidez versus Opetaia, simply because the plan for David Benavidez is that he's going to beat Surdo, move back down, and he wants to fight Beterbiev and Bivol. He wants to get those two wins and then move back up to fight Jai Opetaia. But I want you to think about this. If Benavidez goes on that run, Surdo, Beterbiev, Bivol, and then Jai Opetaia. Those 4 wins, bam, 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 bam. You're going to be top 3 in the pound for pounders. Top 3, top 4. You're going to have to drop down multiple spots because that's a run. That's a crazy run if you fight all 4 of them back to back. Mr. D. Bonilla, Surdo might be big enough to absorb Davis' punches, but the beatdown gonna be so bad that the ref is gonna have to jump in. The beating of a lifetime, my peoples. That's what I'm expecting to see. Beating of a lifetime. That's the way the cookie crumbles. I got a lot of respect for Surdo Ramirez. He's a real good fighter. You know, technical world champion. Been operating at the highest levels. But he's going to have to deal with the Mexican monster, fellas. It's a different ball game. Whole different ball game. And by the way, David Benavidez is one of those fighters who's going to be gunning for that face of boxing spot. He's going to be going after that. And look at the run that he's about to be on. You see, the thing about the Mexican monster is that he's been fighting in the big stages for a long time. So people don't realize how young he is. Benavidez 28 years old. Benavidez 28. Or is he 29 already? Let me fact check myself. So some goofball don't show up. Nah, man, you was wrong about what you said. How about Benavidez' age? Let me see. You 28, yeah, 29. There you go. See, that's what you got to fact check yourself. David Benavidez is only 29 years old, my peoples. He's young. Young. At 29. So he has enough time to really go after that spot, the face of boxing. And he has the opponents in and around his division to make that happen. Mickey Rourke. Whoa, let's see how he handles Soto first. Then Opataya. Then let's see about the heavies. Daisy Sanchez, Benavidez won't be the face of boxing. Canelo was already a star when he was Benavidez' age. Hold on. Hold on. You're right, Canelo was a star. But he wasn't the face of boxing at 29 years old. He wasn't the face of the sport. When he was 29, Floyd Mayweather was still in. Was still the guy. Oh, wait a minute, was he? I'm not sure the age difference. But Benavidez is a big star. Like, what are you talking about? You're talking about like Benavidez is washed. Benavidez is he's one of the biggest names in boxing right now. And when Canelo leaves, it's going to be a group of fighters who's going to be gunning for that face of boxing spot. And they're all going to be in their late 20s. All of them. All of them is going to be in their late 20s. Look at Shakur Stevenson. This is what you have to think about. How old is Shakur Stevenson? 28. 1 year younger than Benavidez. How old is Devin Haney? 28. If you look at all the guys that could potentially become the face of boxing, Jerrell Miller is 28, going on 29. If you look at all the guys that could be next in line to become the face of boxing, they're all in their late 20s. That's the age right now that you want to be. Because when Canelo leaves, you have to understand this. Canelo's 2-3 fights away from leaving, right? When he leaves, the face of boxing is not going to be some young kid that maybe won one title. The face of boxing is going to be somebody who won title in multiple divisions, who's super accomplished. And David Benavidez is one of those guys. Passing track, Canelo's stardom was huge and unusual and rare. Mickey Rourke. Daisy just talking because she don't like. He called himself the Mexican monster. Jay said that's exactly Jay Smith. When Canelo leaves, they're going to shit over the Mexican monster. They're going to shift over to the Mexican monster. Look, let me show you a sign, Daisy. I'm going to show you a sign. You've seen Canelo's star power. We all know about it, right? But he lost his last fight, and he's already not fighting on Cinco de Mayo weekend. Lost his last fight, and Benavidez already took over that weekend. That belongs to Benavidez already. That's it. Every year now, you're going to see Benavidez fighting on Cinco de Mayo. What does that tell you? It tells you that the power is shifting. Canelo's leverage is going down. That's what happened when you lose. He lost to Crawford. He lost to Crawford. Can't get Cinco de Mayo weekend. The undefeated world champion decided to take that date. So that's it. That date is going to belong to David Benavidez. You can mark my words. Next month, next year, you're going to see Benavidez fighting on Cinco de Mayo. Again. Mr. D. Bonilla, Jay, what do you think of David at heavyweight, about 32 years old? I don't know. I'm not sure how to think about that, because if Benavidez wants to do that, then I support it. But it's unknown, because you don't know how his body, what the changes in his body, or how those changes are going to affect his fighting. You know, if he moves to heavyweight, you know, you're going to be a little bit slower. your punch output maybe won't be the same. There's things that might change. So it's hard for me to even envision him in that division. The letter M, facts. He's the next big Mexican star for the next 5 years. His date now. If you look at it, there is no other Mexican fighter that we could say has the popularity of the Mexican Monster. Who? You know who's super popular, but he's not. He doesn't have, no. Who's famous, but doesn't have nowhere near the popularity of the Mexican Monster. Navarrete. Navarrete got a certain level of popularity, and he's an accomplished fighter, very accomplished. But he's not as famous or as popular as David Benavidez. Mickey Rourke. You could say he's literally the face of Mexican boxing right now. JJ said that's Daisy. You would enjoy boxing better if you watch for skill, not color. Just like saying, not being mean. We're not doing the color watching. Daisy Sanchez. Canelo is not fighting. How can you say he took it? You got to rephrase that question. Who took what? I don't know what you mean by that. Mr. Di Bonilla, I can see David Benavidez being a heavyweight champ. I really do. Even if David gets slower, he'd still be faster than the heavyweights. Yeah, but you also have to look at, is he going to be able to take the power? Because once you move up there, you're getting hit a lot harder than what you ever been hit in your whole career. So it's tough to move up to the heavyweight division. And I think if he does move up, it has to be at the end of his career when he knows he's just going to stay there. Because trying to move down to the heavyweight division can also be a problem, which we saw with Roy Jones Jr. when he fought Tarver after beating Ruiz in the heavyweight division. It's tough. Being a heavyweight and trying to move back down, tough task. Mickey Rourke. Because Canelo got his ass whooped. That's why. Kenneth Harvin. What I hate about these elite boxers today, with the exception of David Benavidez, these guys only box twice a year at most. And some only once a year. They do more calling others out than boxing. So what I'd like to see from fighters is 3 times a year. Right? I like to see it 3 times a year. But I understand that for health reasons, some guys have to fight twice a year, or maybe even once. Look at the example of Shakur Stevenson. You know, he has hurt his hands in fights, and he said because of that, he'll fight twice a year to make sure that he recovers good. Daisy Sanchez, because you said Benavidez took the May date. Of course he took that date. Do you see when Benavidez is fighting? May 2nd. Canelo's fighting in September. Of course he took the date. In fact, in case you didn't know, Daisy, May 2nd of this year was supposed to be the rematch between Crawford and Canelo. When they fought and there was a rematch clause, that's what Canelo had him. Not just Canelo, that is his date. Look back, Daisy. When was the last time that Canelo did not fight on Cinco de Mayo weekend? He fights every year that day. This year, after losing to Terence Crawford, no more. Take your ass to September. May 2nd belongs to David Benavidez. You watching it happen in front of you. Young Guns, Jay Smith, good morning. Can't wait for Thursday's 12-hour stream. Let me remind the people, Jay Smith is going to be live for 12 hours straight from 9 in the morning to 9 o'clock at night. I'm going to be calling fights, all type of fights from all different eras. I'm going to be calling Ali versus Joe Frazier, Ali versus George Foreman, Floyd Mayweather versus Diego Chico Corrales. I'm going to be calling Evander Holyfield versus Mike Tyson. We're also going to be talking about different things that have happened in the sport of boxing, such as Fan Man. Remember him flying into the ring when Evander Holyfield and it was Holyfield and Bo was trading some nasty leather. Then Fat Man got beat up by the crowd too. Or remember the melee, Zab Judah, Floyd Mayweather, the two corners went in the ring, started throwing punches in the air. Lots of different things have happened in the sport of boxing that we've been able to witness. So I'm not just going to be calling fights. We're going to be reminiscing stories about boxing and different things that we've seen that have happened in the sport, different situations. So it's going to be 12 hours of nothing but sweet science, my peoples. Also, in the later part of the stream, I'm going to share a phone number that people can call in via WhatsApp to share anything that you want to share about boxing, whether it's a fight that you've seen before or it's a prediction that you want to make about a future fights. So the Box Center family will be able to get in touch. And we talking boxing, my people. 12 hours of sweet science. Yes, sir. Get ready for that smoke. Boxathon. The letter M, Hirsch versus Hagler. Hopkins versus Trinidad. De La Hoya versus Mayorga. I like mostly versus Mayorga too. The letter M, Mayweather versus Hall. Now the Mayweather fight that is definitely going on is Mayweather versus Chico Corrales. Some people, there's a few people that have asked me about Mayweather versus Maidana, so I might end up doing that one too. Might end up doing that one, not sure. But my peoples, it's gonna get crazy on Thursday. 12 hours of sweet science like I told y'all, man. Young Guns, Jay Smith, Wednesday early morning on the Zone. Scott Nicholson is fighting. Tara Moana will be on undercard. Ooh, I'm calling that. Look, I'm glad. That's why you guys, man, I appreciate the fact that you're always tapped in and seeing what's going on in boxing. Young Guns, I appreciate you, my brother. I thought that she was fighting on Saturday. I may have even missed that fight if you didn't say that, because I thought it was on Saturday. Adari J. Smith, do you think Turkey Al-Sheikh will bring back HBO boxing? I mean, it's possible, but it's hard to say. Because, remember, HBO boxing is not an app. It's actually a network. Well, you could get HBO as an app. But HBO is a cable channel, cable network. So, I don't know if they'll do that. I think from here on out, it's just going to be apps, apps, and apps. If you look at Paramount Plus, The Zone, apps. Netflix, app. HBO is not an app. I think they have an app like HBO Plus or something like that. But I don't know. And I tell you what, to me, it would be nostalgic if HBO boxing was brought back. Just the same way that it was. The same team. Maybe they can't have everybody back, of course. Some of them are not even alive. But if they could have the same team and the same format, HBO Boxing After Dark, something special. Showtime Boxing, too. Both of them. Both of those networks have great boxing. Pugilism. Mayweather Corrales is virtuoso. That's, in my opinion, Mayweather versus Corrales was probably the first time that a lot of people accepted that Floyd Mayweather was special. Before he fought Corrales, by the way, in case you didn't know this, Diego Corrales was the last fighter to step in the ring with Floyd Mayweather as the favorite. He was actually the favorite to win that fight. By the way, my people, hit that like button, man. I see a lot of ghosts watching and snake hating going on over here. Diego Chico Corrales was actually the favorite to win that fight. And when Floyd beat him the way that he did, a lot of people started changing their minds. Like, oh, shit. This guy's for real. He might actually be special. Fuck it. We have to accept it. And look at a crazy thing that something to consider, right? How the world spins. Floyd Mayweather got one of the best wins, most spectacular wins of his career against Diego Chico Corrales, right? And then if you want to also bring up one of the most spectacular wins and dominant performance in Floyd Mayweather's career was versus Arturo Gatti. You guys remember that fight? Completely dominate Gatti. Gatti just was too slow. Didn't really know. There was nothing he could do but get beat up. And look how it is. Arturo Gatti and Chico Corrales both passed away young. Two of Floyd's biggest wins of his career. Arturo Gatti, supposedly suicide under suspicious circumstances. Honestly, I don't believe that he committed suicide. And Diego Chico Corrales, motorcycle accident. Both of them, rest in peace, went too young. But those are two of the biggest wins in Floyd Mayweather's career, right there. We're going to be, those are two fights that I will be calling exciting fights on Thursday's Boxathon stream. My peoples, make it roar. Put some of the Drunken Masters fights on too, Jay Smith. We might get some of those on there. But I remember, I'm going to be calling the fights. I can't be showing them. Just so that you know. I will share the link where you can look it up and we can watch it together, but I can't show it because I don't want YouTube to give me a strike. Now, I'm already shadow banned. I think I've been shadow banned for like a month at this point, my peoples. A month. And look, I gotta say this, and I'm proud of this myself. When YouTube shadow banned me, and I look and I see there's only 10 people on the stream, or there's only 5 sometimes. Sometimes there's only 3 or 4. And I want you guys to notice that's how I show my love for the sweet science. It don't matter how many people's on the stream. It could be 150. It could be 5. I'm still giving you this boxing content. I'm still going live Mondays through Fridays. I'm not going to be like, oh, well, I'm not going to do the show because not that many people going to go in. Or I'm not going to do the show because fuck it. Nah. It don't matter how many of us is here. I'm still doing it. Mondays through Fridays consistently, my peoples. I've been shadow banned for close to a month. But we still here. This is what we do. This is what we love, right? Mr. D. Bonilla, you got to call Cotto versus Margarito too. Judah versus Floyd. Floyd versus Mosley. I mean, damn, there's so many. You see, that's the thing. There's so many fights to call. However, 9 in the morning, 9 o'clock at night. It's 12 hours of action, my people. I'm going to probably lose my voice at some point. Probably at the midway point. But we're going to be telling stories and we're going to be talking about a lot of different things. My peoples, I'm about to end today's episode of Boxing for Breakfast. First of all, I want to give a shout out to everybody who tuned in. Appreciate you guys. Make it raw. You can do StreamYard. And have us all on the panel to watch together from your YouTube chat. Oh, whoa. That's interesting. Appreciate everybody who tuned in this morning. One love, my peoples. Let's enjoy this beautiful day, Monday morning. And let me give you guys the J Stradamus words of the day. Here you are. It's Monday, my peoples. It's Monday. Start the week off by focusing on you. Start the week off by trying to figure out how you do better for yourself. And doing better for yourself could be anything. It could be managing your stress. It could be managing your time. You're always running out of time. You're always late. It could be managing that. It could be a lot of different things that you could do to improve yourself, my peoples. So that's my word of the day. Focus on yourself. We could always be better. Figure out how you can be better and do exactly that. My peoples, this is Boxing for Breakfast. I'm Jay Smith. Getting the hell out of here. But before I do, let me give a shout out directly to those who tuned in this morning. Pugilism, Mickey Rourke, The Letter M, Shakur Hands, Trent Thomas. Salute, family. Mr. D. Bonilla in the building. Daisy Sanchez, salute. And everybody else, my people, Dari Panah was in the building as well. Vaughn Jackson, bam, salute, family. Everybody else who tuned in, man. Y'all, JJ's and that was also in the building, by the way. You guys already know what this is, man. This is Boxing for Breakfast. I'm Jay Smith. I'm going to see you guys tomorrow at 8 a.m. Eastern Time. One love, my peoples. Peace. Bam!